journey. Let us hear from Patri sir.
The teachings of Don Juan, that is a great book. And there's a beautiful concept. If you are a warrior for truth, you got 4 enemies. And those 4 enemies are, the first enemy is fear. The second enemy is clarity. The third enemy is power. Fourth enemy is old age. First enemy, fear. Many people have many types of fears. If you have any fear of anything, you have fallen a defeated person to your first enemy. When you face your fears squarely, then you have overcome your first enemy. The first enemy is very, very difficult to overcome, Baba. Because if you are going to put a question and I find it stupid, I will say, hey, Shalini is stupid. You must not fear that. You must be ready to face it. Then only you can speak to me. If you are not afraid of my scolding you, if you are not fearful of that, you have overcome that enemy. So after you overcome fear, you have some clarity in your life, but only half-baked clarity. So we are guided by our half knowledge, half-baked clarity. Again, that becomes an enlightenment, that enemy for you. It takes a long journey for the second stage to pass, for the second enemy to pass. Every enemy is a great enemy, Baba, for a warrior. Fear is a great enemy, clarity is a great enemy, and power. When you have a lot of enlightenment, you have got power over others. And that's a very mesmerizing thing. You have to overcome that. You tend to interfere with people's lives because of your power. You must desist from that. It's very difficult. Then the fourth enemy comes in old age. Hey, enough is enough here. I can't work anymore. Mujhe kuch ho gaya Indore mein. I am troubled, so I can't go to Raipur. That is, you are falling for the old age. Whatever happens to you, you must proceed with your work. That is, you are not fallen for the fourth enemy called as old age. A classic example for not falling for the old age is Bhishma. You know, after 10 days of war, he is so very injured. He was on the Ampashaya, on the bed of arrows. Yet, Krishna asked Duryodhana, Dharmaraja, to go and learn from Bhishma at that stage. And Dharmaraja goes and asks for wisdom from Bhishma, and he gives a big lecture at that stage. So he is not overcome by the physical body's condition. He overcome all physical body's conditions, Bhishma. It's the most classic example of his lecture on the Ampashaya, how you should never care for your physical body, come what may. That is, you have overcome the fourth enemy, called as the old age.
Thank you so much, Nirmal, for sharing. So thank you, friends. So this there are 4 stages, but we got to know 4 types of enemies from Patri sir. But there are 4 stages in our spiritual journey, and this concept, it was this is a principle shared by Don Juan, and according to him, so he said There are 4 stages in a spiritual journey: apprentice, warrior, knower, and seer. So when apprentice becomes a warrior, in no time he becomes a knower, and by completing his practice becomes a seer. So who is an apprentice? One who wants and one who decides to know the truth is an apprentice. One who searches for the truth and dwells in the practice is known as a warrior. And knower is the one who achieves the truth. And seer is one who is with the senses of wisdom. So these are the stages, and we have to search, we have to analyze in which stage we are in, and also we have to cross all these, we have to overcome all these enemies. So what sir has explained in detail about fear, limited knowledge, and the first one is fear, first enemy, and second enemy is limited knowledge, third is power, and fourth is the old age, thoughts of old age, belief system of an old age. So these are the four stages and 4 enemies in a spiritual journey, friends. So this is the concept, and I would like to thank Ram sir for sharing this concept, for helping this session. So anyone would like to share, friends, add your words, thoughts, or wisdom to this concept, you can please share. You can unmute yourself. We will share in the group, Rashmiji. Recordings we will share in the group, sirs. Yes, anyone would like to share, friends? You can unmute yourself. Yes, Madhavi.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sharda, for taking this wonderful concept. Sir always speaks about Don John and Carlos Castaneda's books. They are very, very enlightening books. I've read it 3 or 4 years back, Teachings of Don John by Carlos Castaneda. And the Don John is a shaman, and he educates, or he gives information to Carlos Castaneda, who went to Don John as a student. And that's where he speaks about the 4 types of enemies for the man of knowledge. You know, when we want to be a man of knowledge, these are the things that we have to face. I mean, like, we have to overcome to achieve that state of highest knowledge. And yes, sir had clearly said every enemy of how to address it. And first thing is about the fears. I was having a lot of fears initially, but then I started addressing them. If there is a fear of darkness, what I do is I will just go to it and I'll see what is in there. If you don't take a step, you will never overcome it. So that is one thing. And the second thing is clarity. You know, like, we think that we are so knowledgeable, and we think that we know everything, but still you have to question yourself many a times that your clarity is wrong. You have to refine, so that you should make sure that yes, this is it, you know, like, when you're conveying something. And the third thing is never fall into the trap of power. We always fall into the trap of power. That means if somebody praises us, that we feel so much powerful, or we do feel a kind of ego is again a trap, is the greatest enemy. And at the end, you know, the fourth enemy is old age. Old age is like being a young person, we resign so many things. Resigning in not in doing things is old age, is considered as old age, you know. Not just only when you become old and then you say that I cannot do it. Not that. Now we can see that there are so many people who who don't have that energy, and they say that I'm resigning, I cannot do this job because I cannot do it. So we should never resign anything. I think the meaning of this is to prove that we are a limitless beings, like we are not a limited beings, that we can do only little things, we can do anything. And in Ikigai also there is an example of how these old people in that village, they live for hundred more than hundred of years. How come they live for such a long time? Because they keep the drive, they keep on working, they don't resign. Like Patriji, till he left his physical body, he kept on moving. You have to keep on working. You should never resign and say that no, I will not do it. You can do it. And we are all limitless beings. So these are the four enemies we have to address time to time. And we have to cross one enemy after another enemy, and then we are there where like we understand, we become a seer. So thank you so much, Sharda, for bringing this concept back. This is one of my favorite concepts, because that book had really impacted me a lot. Teachings of Don John by Carlos Castaneda. So thank you so much. And we know Patrici had simplified everything, and he had given us the essence of these four enemies. So thank you so much, Sharda, once again.
Wonderful sharing, Madhubar. Thank you so much for adding in detail and your experience. Thanks a lot. And yes, friends, as we are in journey with autobiography of a yogi, and even Yukteswar Giri, Master Yukteswar Giri, he says that look fear in the face and it will cease to trouble you. So we have to face, and even Mahavatar Babaji and Sita Mata in their messages, they have shared that you have to face the fear. So then you can overcome. You can't only meditation is not enough. So meditation gives the strength to face the fear. So we have to, and I also had few fears, not few, but I had some fears. So when I received this message from Sita Mata, so then I started to face it. So when we face, we will enjoy. Definitely we will enjoy that. So when we cross that phase, the other part, it's an enjoyment. Right. So thank you. Yes, Shri Kalaji.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for this wonderful session. I just wanted to share my thought that really fear is the biggest enemy, especially if you start meditating. In the beginning, it seemed so easy. The first time, it seems amazing. But the more often you do it, the more you overcome doubts, and this becomes fears, because the effects that you had in the first days, cease somehow. So you get somehow, what to say, you think you are too much routine and you know everything about these things, but only with this wisdom sharing, which helps really to focus back again on this meditation and what the meaning is, what the sense is of meditation, that brings back. I think if I would have gone alone for this meditation, I would have stopped already. But thanks to this great Beam meditation family, I'm still doing every day now since I started. I'm very, very thankful for it. And really, you have to just stick on it and face it and go through it. No fear of failure, no fear of just thinking that you already know everything. Just keep on doing it, and then naturally you can overcome this first hindrance of fear. Yeah.
Definitely. Wow. Thank you, Sri Kalaji. So yes, practice and practice. So definitely we will overcome. And even we should not limit, as Madhugar said, we should not limit ourselves. And about the power, what Mahavtar Babaji said is, yes, we do get some like capabilities. We do get some power when we practice meditation. But what he initially said, that you have to use your power for only universal good. So use that one for, and yeah, these are the limitations we keep in our belief system, friends. So let's not break all these limits. Yes, Neelma.
Hi, Shraddha Garu. Yeah, that's a very wonderful topic that you have chosen, to share in today's session, and it has also beautifully wrapped also by Madhu. So such a wonderful, wonderful sharings that we have today. So beautifully explained also about the 4 stages, and coming also to these 4 enemies. I also wanted to share this thing that I recollect from Osho messages. For sure, like fear is the biggest enemy. So that's why, when Osho was walking during the midnight, he sat beside a river. And then he thinks like, what is his biggest fear that he still has to overcome? And then he thinks like he doesn't know swimming. And what if, he was in the river, and then what if something happens? So he said, okay, let me conquer it right away. And there is no person beside him. And then he jumps directly into the river. And then slowly he just pushes himself. However, it is like he comes back. So which means at that stage, like how rebellious also he is, to test, like even jumping in the river, he just makes sure that no one is beside him. So that much of courage we should all be having to conquer our fears, because it's not that easy to step in. However, we just have to do it. And for sure, like clarity is again one of the biggest essence that we all have to know. It's clarity also in understanding in which direction we are going, and at the same time clarity in understanding the law of paradoxes. So this is one thing. And again, also when it comes to power, we always have a saying, right? Like, give the power and see how the person will become. And yes, we should never never get into the trap of that. So there is lot of learning at each and every stage. So thank you so much for bringing this topic and giving us the space of sharings. Thanks a lot, Shraddha Garu.
Wonderful sharings. Wonderful. Isn't it great, Osho? Wow. How dearly he took that step. Yes, friends. Thank you, Neelma. Yes, Ramsa.
Thanks a lot, Sharda Garu. And thanks everyone for adding on to the beautiful wisdom Patri sir has shared of Don Juan. So very, very beautiful concept this is. The whole concept of one's soul's journey, spiritual life is shared by Don Juan. And Patriji had put that in simple way so that we can all reach to it. Instead of reading the whole book, the whole essence is shared in few minutes of Sir's talk. And we all need to connect to such beautiful wisdoms. We have to read all these books. Imagine what Carlos Castaneda might have underwent. There are stories of this caterpillar. When Carlos Castaneda was with Don Juan, they were walking on a road and the caterpillar was crossing the road. And Carlos Castaneda, she thinks that, okay, let me save this caterpillar from being crushed by the vehicles that pass. And the moment she removes it, Don Juan said, why are you interfering? Maybe this caterpillar wants to die. Then why did you interfere in that life? Then she thinks, okay, now let me put it back. So she goes back to put it back onto the street. Then again he says, why are you putting back? Now it had changed his the thoughts to live again. So why are you hearing again? So there are so many such beautiful stories, beautiful real life experiences. One can gain tremendous knowledge, tremendous wisdom. So thanks to all these great masters and their books through which we can all learn. And that is why we have to reach out to every master from every time, every corner of the world, and keep on learning. Because in these 4 stages of spirituality, which is apprentice, warrior, knower, and then becoming a seer, we have to connect to each and every master, learn from each and every master. And regarding the old age, Patri sir's example of Bhishma being on the bed of arrows until the last minute, he was ready to work and share his wisdom to Dharmaraja. Such a beautiful example. Last breath, he was constantly working. And another example is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Till his last breath, he was in service. So we need to look around and we find inspirations for everything that we are undergoing in life. And every answer is so close to us. It is never far. At the same time, we have to understand that don't see these enemies as some challenges in your spiritual journey. See these enemies as masters as we grow from one stage to other stage until we reach and we become a seer. Spirituality is of many elements that are embedded, and many of us are at different levels of, in a particular spiritual lesson, we are seer, we are to the knower level, or in particular spiritual topic, we are at the apprentice level. So there is a lot to learn. There is a lot to learn from everyone we meet. Someone is at a knower level where we are at an apprentice level. We are at a knower level where others are apprentice level. That is why we have to learn from everyone, and that is why we have to teach that we know to everyone. So when we know A, don't wait that we become Z so that we can tell when we are at Z. No, when you know A, you have to tell about A. And then you have to, once you tell A, you will be learning about B. Someone will be teaching about B. So there is a lot to learn from everyone, and that is how we move from one stage to other stage, and that is how we overcome every fear that comes, which is every master that come in our journey. Fears are great masters. All these enemies are great masters. So thanks a lot, Sharda Garu. How this concept had come through to today's session is as well beautiful learning, lots of synchronicities, lots of things that fell in place. So thank you.
Wow. Wonderfully explained, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, one will be in different stages, different topics. Wow. Thank you so much. And thanks for sharing this concept. So friends, as sir said, it's from Patri sir's. It's like so many synchronicities, and this topic came out. So it's like very magical. So it's actually from Ram sir. So thank you once again, Ram sir. Anyone would like to share, friends? Yes. So yeah, shall we end the session, Nilima? Thank you, friends, for joining.
Before we end the session, Ram, would you like to give an update about the Akhanda Dhyan, please?
Yes, Master. So October 7th and 8th in Dallas, PSSM Global, together with PSSM USA and Meditation Magic teams, They are organizing a wonderful 2 days mega meditation summit. So please join this. The details are shared in Beam Family WhatsApp group. And as well, if you can't go there, share about this event to your friends and families there in US. And who can't go there physically, we can be part of this event by connecting to the Akhanda Dhyana that is happening 24 hours over Zoom. Only meditation is happening. So you can tune into that, considering now today is as well the full moon. Utilize this opportunity. Even if you're doing other things, you can be part of this. Join the session, meditate, and be there, and add your intentions and energies to this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful meditation summit that is happening there. Details will be again shared on the Beam Family group. Thank you. Thank you, Nilamaji. Thank you, Masters.
Thanks a lot, Masters. Thank you so much for sharing, Ram. So today evening, we also have session on autobiography of a yogi. So let us all join for today's evening session, Masters. Thank you all. Namaste.